Hi, Dina Wolf here, and I'm going to be talking to you about the benefits of lavender today. So, lavender has several health benefits, and it includes the ability to eliminate some nervous tension, discomfort, disinfect our scalp and our skin, overall, including helping our circulation, respiratory issues. Um, its aroma is extremely clean smelling. It's extracted mostly from the flower and the lavender plant, primarily through steam distillation. And the flower of lavender is very fragrant in nature. And they've been used for making like potpourri and traditionally for, over the centuries for perfuming. And we've discovered that it has not only a very strong aromatherapy benefit, in aromatic preparations and combinations with the lavender oil, because it does blend really nicely with some other essential oils, including cedarwood, clary sage, geranium, and that's just to name a few. And essential oils tend to be found, especially lavender, in aromatherapy fragrances like soaps and gels and that kind of thing. So you'll see quite often, you know, um, lavender in quite a few different things that you find around your household. So let's talk about some of the various health benefits that we can um, partake in with just lavender essential oil. So probably most people didn't know that lavender can be a very nice bug repellent. The smell to bugs, like especially like mosquitoes and moths, tend to be very disturbing, so they don't like it. And if you apply a little bit of the lavender essential oil on any of your exposed skin and then go outside, helps to prevent any kind of irritating bites that you might get. So if you happen to get bitten, maybe it's after the fact and you've thought about maybe using your lavender, you could then maybe use your lavender on a bug bite, and that helps to just decrease that irritation and redness that you might get from a normal bug bite. So some of us have issues with sleep, right? So sleeping, lavender is wonderful for helping to calm and relax, and it makes a nice alternative to maybe something else that we might have to partake in. And there's some really, really good studies out there that elderly people tend to have a nice regular pattern of sleep when they use the lavender essential oil before bedtime. And they just take a drop and put it on their pillow, and that helps to relax. You can also use a little bit on the bottom of the feet, maybe 1 to 2 drops. And some of us tend to get quite nervous here and there, and lavender can be very calming to the body. It's an excellent tonic for like our nerves and for feelings of anxiousness, and it can be used for things like neurologically, like headaches, if you get some head tension, maybe some issues with feeling a suppressed mood, emotional stress, that kind of thing. It's very refreshing, and it has a nice aroma that helps to soothe the nervous tissue in the body. So when we're having like that really super hyperactive mental activity happening and our brain just feels like it's racing, the lavender helps to calm that down. And it has like a really significant impact on our autonomic nervous system, which is really great for helping to regulate things like heart rate and sleeping patterns and that kind of stuff. So we also see studies showing that when you're taking tests, we tend to get like test anxiety, and the mental stress that comes with test taking can actually be soothed with using some lavender essential oil prior to going in to take a test. It also has been known to increase our cognitive function, and that's just by maybe inhaling, straight out of the bottle. Makes a great way to utilize that prior to test taking, or in the event that we need to remember something right away. How about like skin issues? Anybody have any kind of issues with maybe blemishes or scarring, maybe divots or blemished skin of any kind? The lavender really helps to soothe and comfort the skin. Sometimes, we get some blemishes, and especially as, we hit puberty, it can be very embarrassing and annoying to have red raised bumps all over the face, and those can then get infected with bacterial infections and then go down to the sebum gland and cause a lot of issues, and then that sebum gland gets clogged, and then we have even bigger issues on our hands of bacteria and irritation. So lavender is wonderful at soothing those kinds of skin irritations and helps to soothe those sebum glands, as well as when we have like hormonal issues and maybe some overactive stress levels. In that case, we can soothe the body that way because we are reducing the stress level as well. And there's going to be some other like skin creams and ointments and stuff like that can be potentially soothing to the skin. You can add any kind of like moisturizer that you may use on a daily basis. You can utilize a couple of drops of your lavender essential oil in your normal moisturizer as well, and that's going to help to soothe the skin even further. Now, how about for discomfort? So we talked a little bit about maybe using lavender for like a headache or that kind of thing, or maybe some skin irritation, but how about if you have like maybe muscle aches or some joint irritation and that kind of thing? You can massage the lavender into the joint or the muscle, and that helps to reduce the discomfort. They did a study showing that post-operatively, we had more soothing relief with using the essential oil of lavender instead of having to use significant high amounts of pain medication. They used the essential oil of lavender first. That helped to soothe and relax the body and decrease that stress level. And those patients were able to recover more quickly as well. Okay. So how about like with maybe urine flow? Lavender is really good for the urinary tract because it's really stimulating and effective in urine production, so it helps support the kidney. We've seen it used in patients that have a lot of issues like with cystitis and that chronic inflammation. It helps to soothe the bladder and allow the bladder to relax and be calm, reducing that cramping and other kind of irritations that the bladder can sometimes get. Now, lavender is wonderful for the respiratory tract as well, and so we use the lavender, a couple drops on the chest when we have any kind of respiratory threat happening. So coughing, any kind of congestion of any kinds. The lavender is wonderful for a couple drops on the chest, and you can also use it like in a vaporizer, or maybe you have one of those little inhalers that can be used as well, and it's a great way to help to kind of loosen up some of that phlegm and get that respiratory tract back in order. Now, hair care, that's a big one for us girls, right? We want our hair to always look fabulous, right? And so lavender essential oil is wonderful for using in your like scalp. You can also use it to add to your shampoo. They've seen it be very effective if, you want to keep, remember we talked about, being a bug repellent. So in the event that maybe your neighbor has some lice or something of that kind of nature where, you don't want to be exposed to it, you can help to protect yourself by just adding a little bit of lavender to your hair. And that will help to keep those from, jumping on you in the event that you're next to somebody like that. Now, how about for like maybe alopecia? If you are someone who has like maybe an autoimmune disorder and You have some rejection in your hair follicles, you can add a little bit of lavender to help to soothe and relax your natural hair follicles, and then helps to reduce the accelerated rate of alopecia in that case. Okay, so it's just a support. It's not going to heal it. It's just a support. And then that will actually help to stimulate more hair growth in that case as well. In the event of male pattern baldness, you can use a little bit of lavender essential oil with rosemary, and that will help to facilitate opening up some of those follicles as well, and supporting your body's natural ability to clean that out. Circulation. Lavender is a wonderful essential oil for supporting circulation in the body, and aromatherapy of lavender has been used for coronary circulation and helping to soothe blood pressure in the cases where someone might have like a increased stress level and then it resulting in hypertension. What we could do is help soothe the body, reduce that stress level, support the organs and glands that provide the oxygenation of the body. We also want to soothe muscle. The heart is a muscle itself, and so we want to soothe and strengthen in any possible way we can the heart muscle itself, okay, and the blood vessels that are supplying all that oxygen to the body tissues. And so we have the means of using the lavender essential oil. Now, I like to put the lavender essential oil just on the forearms. That goes straight to the heart, so we're able to get that into circulation really, really quickly that way. And you can apply that a couple times a day on the forearms or directly over the chest if you're looking for more of a cardiac soothing effect. You can just apply that right straight on the chest itself. Now, if we want to aid digestion and soothe the digestive tract, we want to increase the motility of the GI tract, and that in that respect, we want to get the production of gastric juices going and bile and all that kind of stuff, and then reduce that indigestion and colic and gas and bloating that we sometimes get after eating. And so a couple drops of lavender helps to aid in digestion and soothe the digestive tract, especially after eating. And then our immune system, we have about 60 to 75% of our immune system is occurring in the intestinal wall. And you got to think you're exposed to tons of things, from the outside world in, and the gut is kind of like an ozone layer for our body. It's our first line defense of everything that we're exposed to on the outside, and so we want to keep our immune system functioning really, really well, because that's what protects us from things that we're exposed to. And so utilizing the lavender essential oil helps to provide a resistance to lots of unfriendlies that tend to come into contact with us on a daily basis. We're exposed to tons and tons of stuff. Okay? And so, lavender is an overall wonderful essential oil. It's soothing, it's calming, it has that capability of just, bringing us back to homeostasis in the body and reducing that stress and that, oh my goodness, I have to deal with this, and this, even with our mood and with our, overall day-to-day living. I can't even tell you how many times I've used lavender. It's one of my most commonly used essential oils. And, my husband is diabetic, and so he uses the lavender essential oil for, helping to calm and soothe at night before bedtime, but then also, too, to keep his stress level under control, which cortisol has a very big sway in the body when it comes to blood sugar balance. And so we definitely use the lavender essential oil to support his stress and help to reduce that so that he can keep that cortisol under control and help to balance a lot of the hormones that are involved with day-to-day living. So now if you're someone who needs more information about lavender, I invite you to click the link below and we will get you started on our lavender newsletter and get you more information about how you can get your hands on some lavender and how you can utilize it in your home for multiple things, even more than what we just talked about here. So I look forward to connecting with you, and I will see you soon.